Knicks Nation, what's going on, guys? It's your host CJ. Started my new Knicks channel called Knicks Boulevard. Coming here to chop it up, talk about the New York Knicks. I've been a Knicks fan my whole life, and decided to make a YouTube channel. And definitely inspired by a lot of the Knicks YouTubers, and making content. So I figured why not do the same and chop it up and talk about some of the things, some of my thoughts on the team over the last few years, and some of the moves that they made this summer and the offseason for free agency. So I appreciate everybody tuning in from Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and also this YouTube channel as well, man. Thank you guys for stopping by. So of course, the big signing was getting Jalen Brunson. Obviously, that was the big move for us, and he had a really, really solid playoffs. Had a really good year last year with the Dallas Mavericks. Started off the bench, and then Jason Kidd put him in the starting lineup, and he flourished. He did a great job, and there was reports. Obviously, we know about that game in Utah and how he played, which really, helped his value and helped his opportunity to try to get a bag, and that's exactly what he got. He signed a 4-year, $104 million contract with the New York Knicks. He turns 26 next month. I think it's a good move. It's a good move for the Knicks. Definitely a need for the team in terms of having a point guard. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little, I still have my concerns, and it's not really because of him per se. It's more about the team and what's around him, and the certain mindset of the players that's on the team if you really want to see this squad excel next season. So I think he brings an element that we haven't really had in a long time. Honestly, I don't want to say a long time, maybe from a starting standpoint. Derrick Rose coming in 2 years ago, with that trade with the Pistons, really took the Knicks over the hump with his ability to get to the basket, floaters, being shifty, also taking some of the passing and offensive hopefully, let's see. We got Philly trying to come up. I don't see it, but I'll be watching. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good move, man. I'm gonna put the stream link in the chat. Anybody want to stop in, chop it up, talk about what plans they got going forward for the New York Knicks. I think it's a good move. Like I said, we needed a point guard. Again, Derrick Rose came in and really helped the team 2 years ago. Took a lot of pressure off of Julius Randle. He didn't have to do everything. Now, I do feel like Randle has some things he needs to improve on going into next season if the team wants to make the playoffs. But I think bringing in a guy like Brunson could definitely help that. He wanted to be the guy. Luka Doncic is the guy over there in Dallas. He's their number one option. He's the guy that the Dallas Mavericks want to build around. And if Brunson felt like he could come here and be a key piece in the Knicks' success. So I respect that. A lot of Knicks fans talk about how players don't want to come here. Yeah, he may not be a superstar, but it doesn't always have to start out with a superstar coming to the Knicks at first. It comes out with quality players. I think players across the league, they see that, stars included. They see a guy of his caliber. We've seen the amount of respect he's gotten since he's gotten the bag, and that could attract certain stars down the road. So I think it's a good move. I think it's a good first step. Obviously, I'm not expecting him to, be this, all-world guy or something like that. But I think I think he could definitely come in and help the team and bring a different dynamic that we haven't had in the last few seasons. I'm gonna bring in my brother Quando. Yo.
Yes, sir, I'm in the building.
What's good, man? What's good? Talk to me, brother.
Appreciate you. Knicks, man.
Yes, sir, man. Tell me what you thought about the Brunson pickup.
Let me see. My true feelings about the Brunson pickup. I'm excited. To see what he can bring to a Knicks team that has, they've had their run-ins the last couple years. I feel like last year they could have made the playoffs. You know, they had they had one bad month of the season and it kind of killed them. But I feel like Brunson can honestly hold together whatever like offensive gel slash momentum that they were missing between RJ Barrett and Julius Randle, with those two players honestly being the only two playmakers, quote unquote, or ball handlers on the team. Now you have a point guard, an actual point guard, you know, who can facilitate, make shots for others, even score on his own. So it'll be exciting to watch, and maybe it'll kickstart a whole bunch of other stars or upcoming stars to come to New York to play ball with Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, and Jalen Brunson. You know, their lineup, is if you look at it on paper, it looks solid. With them being in the East, it looks pretty solid. So I like the Jalen Brunson pickup. I feel like it was definitely needed.
So we got Greenhouse. Appreciate you stopping by, brother. From Lawrence Tears. Not a foundational piece, I think, nor a game changer, but an incremental improvement. I'll take it, but
exactly.
I hope we made this move because it was best for it. It was the best one, and not because of relationships.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, yeah. You want to speak on that, Quan? Go ahead, and I'll follow up.
Yeah. That was like one of the biggest questionable things coming into the whole Brunson thing. It's kind of like it looks like it's been like set up for him to come to New York. You know, being that his father is a part of like the front office, and it looks like that in a way. So I don't consider him a foundational. I don't want to say I consider him a foundational piece, but he's definitely gonna help. He's definitely gonna help.
Yeah, I think it's obviously Leon Rose just comes from CAA. That's where he was before he became the Knicks president.
Exactly.
He had one of his first clients was Rick Brunson, like you said, Jalen Rose's father. But I think Rick Brunson now being an assistant coach as well, I think it helps Thibodeau. He has a relationship with Tom Thibodeau as well. He was an assistant coach when Tibbs was in Chicago, I believe in Minnesota also. So it's not like this is a move that it's kind of blindsided Tibbs. I was in a stream earlier, a live stream earlier. People were kind of upset, and it felt like it was and they were in cahoots together. But I mean, if you think about it, when you think about other free agent signings, that's how it happens anyway. You look at the Lakers. You look at a lot of the guys that the Lakers signed. They're from Clutch Sports. I mean, they're from LeBron and Rich's agency group. That's usually how it works in the NBA. And honestly, it could be I could see it from that way, but also from a factor it's a trust factor too. These guys, these players. You're talking to guys within the agency. How is this guy? You think he'd be a good fit? And then the money standpoint, and then also he's good. He's a good player. I think he wants to improve. He wants to take his game to the next level. He's accepting the challenge of being a starting point guard in the NBA, and he wants to come here and do it on one of the biggest stages in New York City. So I respect him for embracing the challenge. A lot of players don't want to do that, and we'll see how it works out. Now, from a backcourt standpoint, defensively, I'm not entirely sold on Fournier and Brunson in that backcourt. I don't think, Fournier's, he's a good shooter. Obviously he has the single most 3-point made shots in Knicks history for a single season. So he has that under his belt. But I just think defensively, he doesn't try like he should. He's 6'7", doesn't necessarily use his length like he should. And I think, that could be a problem there. When he was on the Mavericks, you had Reggie Bullock, you had Dorian Finney-Smith, you had a couple other guys, Tim Hardaway before he got hurt, some guys that can move laterally and kind of, mask some of the deficiencies of a smaller guard like Brunson.
Absolutely.
I see it right here. Word, I'm trying to see the nepotism from a positive angle. Leon needs to trust his inner circle in order to move. He needs to trust his circle in order to move. Yeah, exactly. And again, it was a need. I mean, I really didn't see any other top, any other guards on the market. I know I heard a lot of talk about Tyus Jones. but he's a backup. Brunson was a backup, and then he came in and got the start. And he came in, and Jason Kidd gave him the green light and gave him the opportunity to start. And he didn't come off the bench again. He ended up being a starter for the rest of the season, and we know what he did in the playoffs, especially in the first round against Utah. So. Tyus is more of a traditional backup guy, so I could see why the Knicks really didn't want to go in that direction. Colin Sexton, he's not injury prone, but he is coming off a meniscus injury where he was out for the season. So I could see the hesitancy from the Knicks from that standpoint. But like I said, I do have my concerns because of the X's and O's, because of Tibbs' system. He doesn't really have an offensive system, to be honest. It's not really that much. It's not that much of a system.
Gotta love the system.
Yeah, I mean it's difficult at times, but I think a point guard. I think not having a point guard last year definitely was a reason for the stagnant offense. I like Quickly, and I think he could continue to grow and improve. And I definitely wanted to see him, potentially get an opportunity to start, but. It's just not how just not what it was lined up to be for the Knicks as it stands right now. Maybe he could, fill in a role, be a shooting guard if he can improve on defense because he can space the floor, similar to what Fournier could do. But if he could bring that defense intensity on that side, maybe he could try to sneak and get a starting spot at the shooting guard spot. But I also like him coming off the bench with him and Obi Toppin as it stands right now. I think him and Toppin have great chemistry. We saw what they did in the last few games of the season when Randall was out, and when Tibbs actually gave Quickly an opportunity to play some minutes at the point guard position. So I think exactly. Finally, so I like what the bench is looking like right now. I think we have some depth. It's going to come down to Tibbs trusting these guys, developing these guys. You have to fail in order to succeed. I mean, that's just how it works in life. Just because you make a couple mistakes here and there on the court, doesn't mean okay, I'm gonna go put some veterans in now. Like let those guys fail. Talk to them. You got to coach them up. They're still young players. It's not like these guys are year 6, year 7 in the NBA. Like you have to have some type of patience with these guys and not just go straight to your veterans and then just put them in the game for 40 minutes and not look back. That's not a formula for success, and that's why they only won 37 games last year. You need to have depth, especially in the regular season. And in the playoffs, yeah, of course, you shrink your rotation. You want to have your best guys out there when it matters. But in the regular season, you got to keep guys fresh. So you have to have guys out there playing more. Randall or RJ and these guys, they shouldn't be playing 40 minutes a game for the 82 game season on top of 38 plus minutes going into the playoffs. Those guys are going to get tired. That's just. I mean, they're young players, but they're not robots. Like you got to have some type of minute spread there if you want it to work.
Absolutely. The crazy thing is, I didn't even know the Knicks won 37 games. That says a lot.
Yeah.
But the Knicks didn't win 37 games last year, and the type of season they had, with everything they went through, that just says a lot. That says that's a team that's literally right there. In the East, as far as being in the East, they're literally right there. If maybe, of course, the Knicks had their issues last year with Randall and going through what they went through. It'll be nice to see. Maybe does he dial it back? Does Julius Randle dial it back in order for you guys win 45 games?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna have to dial it back. I mean, he can't do everything on the court. He has to be, more of a he has to be more of an all around player. You can't be a guy that just that's just holding on to the ball, doing isos the whole time. Like you gotta get other guys involved. You gotta move the basketball around. That's the only way you can have true team success. And we didn't see that last year. There was a stretch. It was really like that, after January, maybe January around All-Star break. I think the Knicks were like 3-17 in a 20-game stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some close games there where, it would come down to late in the game and the offense just was stagnant. And we had, multiple possessions over and over again. where just guys couldn't get their offense going. The ball really wasn't moving. The ball was just staying in one place. It was just Randall trying to do everything, dribbling the ball, dribbling the air out the ball, and nothing else was going on from an off-ball standpoint. And teams started to close out. Teams started to play some zone, and we ended up taking a lot of those close losses that maybe last year we were able to win. And I think one, Derrick Rose not being there was a factor, because when Derrick Rose came in the second half of the season 2 years ago, he was a guy that could take some of the pressure off of Randall with the basketball, go to the basket. If there was certain situations and certain possessions where the offense get stagnant, he could go get a bucket. He could go to the basket. He could get a floater. He could knock down a 3-point shot, maybe hit a mid-range, and bring some more life to the offense. So it's not just all Randall all day. So I think Brunson, like Rose, can do that. But he's younger than Rose. He doesn't have the injury concerns like Rose has. So you would expect him to be more durable and be more on the court next season for the Knicks. I see a comment here from Greenhouse. Appreciate you stopping by again, bro. If Brunson can outplay the zone, he can help a lot. I know people hate Randall on the ball, but he was great in the high post, putting up Jokic numbers until he got hit with a lot of zone. Need that. Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure, as you know, what opens up that free throw, that mid-range shot in the middle of the court opens up is that open spot in the zone. So, Brunson has the ability to get there, really good 3-level scorer, but you also got to have some spacing too, because when that defense does collapse, there has to be some guys on the outside that have to knock down shots. Fournier could do it if need be. Quickly, if he plays like the second half quickly and not the first half of the season quickly, he can knock down some shots. Cam, if he's available, has to stay healthy, stay durable. There are some options. RJ, he played well in the second half of the season. Shooting splits weren't great, so I would like to see him improve and more catch and shoot aspect also. So those guys have to step up and be able to knock down shots if they want to stay on the court.
Absolutely.
Let's see what else we got here. Dynamic scorer to keep the defense honest. Exactly. That's exactly what he could do. Again, he's a piece. There's some Knicks fans, and then this is what I wanted to talk about too was the pay. People were talking about it was too much money, and they paid him too much. 4 years, 104 million. That's around over a little bit over 25 million per. That's what the market dictates. That's what the market dictates for a starting point guard in the NBA. He wants to take that next step and be that guy. So he's going to get paid like it. And when you sign these contracts, like you see the Grizzlies signing Ja for multiple years. Zion just got 5 years, 231. Darius Garland got, I think, 5 years and 193. When these guys are getting these type of contracts, yes, it's the teams like what they've done already, but it's also what they're going to continue to do going forward. That's why you get the contracts. So Brunson being 25, 4 years from now, 2 years from now, if he plays at a high level, that deal is going to look like a bargain. Like, oh, we got Brunson for only $25 million, and he's putting up this numbers and doing things like that. So I think it's a great pickup. If the mindset of Tibbs and Julius Randle changes. If those things don't change, then it's going to be a tough watch. And I think we might see some changes from those two positions right there, with Tom Thibodeau and Julius Randle. Another bring Quando back in. Yeah, another move I was a fan of was the. I'll still stay with Knicks. Mitchell Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing in Mitch. I think it was 4 years, 60 mil. What was your thoughts on that?
I'm a huge
Mitchell Robinson
fan
coming back.
Yeah, definitely a huge fan of Mitchell Robinson. He's like one of the bright spots on the Knicks. Like when you watch the Knicks game, he's definitely one of the bright spots. He definitely deserves more credit than what he probably gets, but I like it. He definitely deserves it, and I can see him having a great year coming up. Hopefully, he can stay healthy. But he's definitely a key piece to them uh, trying to get to the playoffs next year. As far as his drive and his play, his defensive play, and his rebounding for sure. So I definitely like the Mitchell Robinson re-signing. It was like a no-brainer for the Knicks, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. It's a good move. Look at Robert Williams, kind of making the same amount. Center from the Celtics, making a similar type of contract. Their playing style is very similar. I think Robert Williams, to me, is a better passer when he gets the ball. In terms of seeing guys cut to the basket, I think that's a step that Mitchell Robinson needs to take. He's some things that I feel like he needs to improve on. Now that he's got this bag, you got the security. Now it's time to show that you could be an all-star type player, defensive player of the year type candidate. That's what I'm looking for Robinson going forward, and with this second contract with the New York Knicks. I'm expecting him to be defensive player of the year candidate every single year, blocking shots, and, changing the outcome of certain shots around the basket, switching out on guards. That seems to be the norm now in the modern day NBA. Those big guys have to step out and guard and defend. I think he has the athleticism to do that. Early in his career, he was blocking jump shots and doing things like that. So he has that athleticism and ability. Got to stay out of foul trouble. That's something that he definitely worked on last year. It wasn't in foul trouble as much. He was able to stay relatively healthy last year also. So I think that was a good move for Mitch. And then from an offensive standpoint, I wanted to see him add a little bit, just add a little bit more to his game. I'm not asking for a jump shot. I'm not asking him to shoot threes. A nice little push shot, around like the 3 to 10 foot area. When you get the basketball, a nice little push shot. Those are 2 points, easy. Make the defense respect you, and in some aspect, and outside of just dunking the basketball. Moving around a little bit more. If you see a guy driving to the basket, roll around to the other side and give him an outlet to make a read, and he could potentially get an easy dunk. Little things, boxing out. That's something that I've always see with the Knicks that they struggle with. They always struggle with boxing out. That's just to me. That's just an NBA thing. Nowadays, guys just don't box out. I don't know why.
Nobody wants to play the block. I don't. Yeah, bro, it's crazy.
Like, they feel like they could just jump over everybody and they don't need to do the fundamentals to get the rebound. But if he's boxing out and swarming and getting if you getting guys, you could get guys frustrated that way too. You start boxing out, guys try to jump over you. What happens? Over the back foul, and then those guys start getting in foul trouble. And you could change the game like that. You could get a key guy that's really good for that opposing team out of the game because he could be in foul trouble because you're being fundamentally sound on that side of the court. So I need to see that from him. He should be able to average a double-double easy. It should be easy, man. There should be no reason why he's averaging less than 10 rebounds, in my opinion. With the amount of possessions that the NBA have a game, 10 rebounds should be light. It should be light. I expect him to have some more points too. Now that Brunson is there, he's a really good pick and roll point guard. So he needs to set some better screens, be more physical when setting that screen, so the offense could have some more fluidities. There could be some easier reads for Brunson. If things start to collapse, he could start making reads to weak side, strong side, parts of the basketball court. So, I like the move. I like that. He stays in Nick. But I do think there's some things that he definitely needs to improve on if he wants to take his game to the next level. He has the ability, like I said, he has the ability to be a defensive player of the year type player, but he just has to bring it every single night. And if he does play like that, the Knicks are going to win. They're going to win games if he's changing the game by setting screens, blocking shots, and getting steals and getting rebounds.
Make it his presence.
Exactly. You got to make your presence. But you look what Robert Williams did. He's not getting 15 attempts.
He's affecting the game in every way.
Right, exactly. He's affecting the game without having the basketball in his hands, and that's what we need. We need it. That's what we need Mitchell Robinson to do. He needs to do the same exact thing. And when he gets the basketball, do something with it. Whether it's make the right pass or you put the ball on the floor a little bit, go to the basket, start catching some bodies. Like, I mean, he has the length and the size and the athleticism to be able to do that. No one's saying, be a point guard with handles, but off that short roll, you get the basketball. Like I said, a nice little push shot. If they playing you too high, use your length, use your size, use your athleticism, get to the basket. And then the last thing for me for Mitch is free throws. It's the free throws, man. 48% from the free throw line. It's not gonna cut it. It's not gonna cut it. He has to be at least. I mean, I'll be realistic. I'll say around 67, 68% from the free throw line next year. That's a big improvement from 48. So he needs to improve in the free throw line. If you're going to get the ball a little bit more, you're going to get fouled, and guys are going to at late in games. If you're on the court, teams are going to foul you if you can't shoot free throws. Now they're going to get the ball back. They're going to do a hack of Mitch, and if he can't shoot free throws, again, that also slows down the offense, and that could bring some teams back into some games. So make those guys pay for fouling you. So those are some things that Mitchell Robinson needs to work on. Now that he has his second contract, a big contract, generational type contract for him and his family. So congrats to him, and hopefully he continues to improve with this Knicks team. Another pickup was Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yeah, CJ, I meant to ask you about that. I don't really know who that is. I got to do my research on who that is. But yeah, what team did he come from?
So he came from the Los Angeles Clippers. He was their backup center. He was backing up Zubats. Yeah. And he's solid. He's a solid big man. I think he could shoot the three. He could space the floor a little bit. He has a nice little push shot floater, which I was talking about, something that Mitch needs to add to his game. He could do that. He's a really good passer when he gets the ball off the roll, so he can make the right reads if teams collapse, if teams are sleeping on defense. Kind of like he's like a poor man's like Joakim Noah type without the defense. From an offensive standpoint, he can make those type of reads. Like back when Noah was in Chicago, him and Rose, Noah used to be able to make plays from that low block and make the right passes and make the right reads for the Bulls back then. He could do that. He's not the best with pick and roll defense. That's why he's a backup. He's not a great rim protector. So I think he's gonna get some minutes on the Knicks. Whether it's but there's gonna be a three-way. We have three centers. Sims, Mitchell Robinson, and Hartenstein. But I think Hartenstein brings a different element to that front court position where I think he's going to be able to play. He's going to get some minutes and impact some lineups that I think could definitely be helpful for the Knicks next season. So yeah, I like that move as well. I believe it was 2 years, 16.7 mil. Try to get that up for you guys. Yeah.
D Rose is still on the roster, right?
Yep. Yes, he is still on the roster. Yeah.
Hopefully he can get healthy. He can get healthy and back up Jalen Brunson. That's a beautiful combo right there. D Rose, D Rose can do what he got to do. You've seen that from him. Just about him staying healthy. I feel like he can definitely complement Jalen Brunson. When Jalen Brunson got to hit the bench, you got D Rose coming in and running the second unit.
Exactly.
That's perfect.
Yeah, him and I.
Comes down to defense.
You said what?
I think it just comes down to defense. The Knicks were definitely another team who they had these 20-point, 25-point leads, and they go into the fourth quarter and disappear. Like, it's definitely going to be about defense with Tibbs and this unit this year. But I feel like you should be excited, bro. I feel like y'all got a good chance to go to the playoffs, especially with the Nets.
Oh man, yeah. Where you think KD's gonna go?
Man, I'm thinking KD is gonna go to either. Yo, bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm thinking 3 teams. It's either gonna be Miami, Portland, or the Lakers. I know they're saying 0% chance, but it's just it's like at this point, you know how the Lakers front office is. They're extremely desperate.
Yeah.
So it's like at this point, why not? Why not get KD and Kyrie paired with LeBron? LeBron is the perfect person to take all that scrutiny, all that negativity, and put it on him, and make sure these guys play. But at the same time, it's like, damn, you got to trade AD. So I don't know, but I like him going to either Portland or Miami first before anybody else.
I think it's gonna be a little waiting period.
I think that's too, because I'm like, the Nets don't even have to trade you.
Yeah, they don't. And then also you saw what Utah just got for Gobert.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Yeah. What's your thought? Yeah. What was your thoughts on that one?
Got a feeling. I need to. I don't know, man. I need to talk to A-Rod, man. I don't know what the hell that was. I need to talk to A-Rod, bro. A-Rod is bugging out. He's bugging. I don't know what that new ownership is thinking. I mean, I like the pairing of Cat with Rudy Gobert, but you guys gave up too much for Rudy, bro. Like, for somebody who doesn't affect the game offensively as much as they need to, for what you gave up, it doesn't make any sense. Patrick Beverly, most likely, to mention Pat Bev, I think he's going to get a buyout, and I think he's going to go to a contender.
Yeah, I see the same thing. He might get traded too. He might get traded again to a contender. I definitely see that. The Gobert situation, yeah, that was
nasty work, bro.
Yeah,
that's the shit out of him. Oh my God.
I feel like they rushed that move. They didn't have to make that move right away like that. I feel like they should have waited till KD got something, and then they could have negotiated and maybe met somewhere in the middle. But now it's like it gives the Nets, they're gonna be like that. You got when they're on the phone with these teams that are trying to finesse them to try to get Kevin Durant and try to keep some of their players still. They're gonna be like, did you see what Utah just got for Gobert? And you guys are asking me for this and this for Kevin Durant. Exactly. So I think there's gonna be some negotiations, some phone calls between these front offices with the Brooklyn Nets, where it's gonna be a stalemate. It's not gonna be some pretty conversations for sure, because I mean, Gobert, he's a good player. I think he averages like 15, maybe around 15 points a game, 15 and 12. Obviously, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. It's a good move. I don't know if it's a move that helps them go to the Eastern, Western Conference Finals or NBA Finals. The only way that would need to happen is, one, I think they're banking on Anthony Edwards becoming, Anthony Edwards will have to play like an MVP candidate for the majority of the contract that they're with. Because remember, they just signed Cat too for a long-term deal, and now you got Gobert, who got 4 years left on his deal. So I think they're really trying to, before they pay Ant, at least try to make a run at the Western Conference Finals. And Cat, Cat's a talented player to me. I felt like he could be a 1, but he doesn't play like a 1 at times. He kind of fades in games and key moments. We saw that a lot against against the Grizzlies, where they had an opportunity. They had ample opportunities to win that series. They should have beat the Grizzlies in 5, but they kept blowing series leads. I mean, they kept blowing leads in the game. So I mean,
people were calling me crazy when I said that. I was like, if you watch the game, the Grizzlies were getting killed every game.
they kept coming back.
Every game, they just kept coming back. They kept taking the foot off the pedal. Minnesota could have been right there playing against Golden State, and I might have been, not to say Golden State would lose, but it probably would have been just as good of a series. Like it would have been, you know. But I don't know, bro. It's that trade was weird. Like it was weird. It's like, what do you want with Rudy Gobert? You guys honestly didn't. I just think they didn't need him. You didn't need Rudy. Like you guys could have kept building and maybe got some more young players. The veterans you guys had on your team, y'all made it all the way to the play-in. Maybe Rudy puts them. I don't even know, bro. I don't.
He to me, he has to be a little bit more aggressive offensively. Hopefully that should open up. I mean, you have 2 players that could get 25 a night with Ant and Cat now on the court now, as opposed to just Donovan Mitchell. So maybe he could get some easier looks at the basket. He should be able to get at least around 18 and just continue to play his role. Now, Cat to me, I've always felt like he was a power forward. I always felt like he was like he wanted to be a stretch 4 kind of dude, go to the basket, shoot the 3. That was his play style. So I really wasn't too worried about that. I think they're going to go the traditional route where you see teams like Golden State where they have Draymond is 6'7" at center pretty much, but they have Looney come in there at times in spurts and moments. Celtics same thing, Al Horford stretch 4, 2-way stretch 4, if you want to call it for the 2K type of build, and then you got Robert Williams coming in there and defending. So there's going to be some times, depending on who they play, where Gobert is not going to be on the court. Cat's going to have to play center again. So it can work, but they have to all buy in schematically.
I just feel like the X factor on that team, it wouldn't even be Cat or Rudy. It would be D'Lo. D'Lo has to play exceptional. He can't play like he played in the playoffs.
Right.
Can't do that again. I don't think he's gonna. Well, the way the Timberwolves seem like they're going is if he doesn't play up to par, probably the first half of the season, he's gonna be one of those players that might get traded at the deadline.
Yeah, I see that for sure. He has to play like a point guard, not a scoring guard. They don't need the scoring anymore. I mean, and spurts in certain moments, but he has to be a facilitator. He has to set those guys up, especially Gobert. We know Cat and Ant, they could get their own shot, but for a guy like Gobert, who's I mean, he could. I mean, outside of an NBA court and system, he can shoot threes. I've seen it. I've seen him shoot threes and do things like that. But that's not what they're asking him to do in Minnesota now. So I think for him, just continue to play his role, continue doing what you've been doing, blocking shots. Leading the league in blocks per game, blocks total, being a defensive player of the year candidate, masking what some of the deficiencies that Cat has as a defender. And those other guys have to step up too. Cat, it's just when certain teams are gonna go small. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna make Cat be a perimeter defender. He has the lateral quickness. But for an every night thing where he doesn't have to hide, against a rolling big every night, some power. They're going to put some small ball lineups out there where they might have a wing that's like 6'7", play power forward, and
like a Paul George or a Kawhi Leonard.
Paul George, Kawhi Leonard type. They're going to go small. Ty Lue's going to go small against them.
Yeah, adequately. Yeah.
Because that's what they did against Utah a couple years ago. Remember when Terrence Mann went crazy and had like 39 points, and he was playing center, and Gobert just kept collapsing in the paint. He was just standing in the corner all day and kept splashing threes. So, it's going to be an adjustment period for those teams, for them. But it can work. It can work if they all buy in. because Cat can space the floor, so that's that X factor. It's not like everything's going to be crammed up in the paint, but he's going to be shooting a lot more, which I'm not entirely a fan of when it comes to big guys. But now that they have a traditional guy at the five, it kind of makes up for that. But yeah, where do you see the Knicks right now? Let me hear your top teams in the Eastern Conference. Let's say top six non-playing.
If everybody is, I'm gonna go off if everybody stays healthy, has a good season, and everything the way it's supposed to go. I got number one team in the East is gonna be. I'll say the Celtics. You gotta give respect to them. They went to the fifth. I feel like, and they had a rough start last year. I don't think that's gonna happen again. So I got the Celtics going number one. I got the Bucks 2. I got Miami 3. But this is crazy too because we don't know where Kevin Durant's going. So like, we're just gonna keep the Nets off the list. We're just gonna go off from last year. Miami 3rd, 4th. Bulls. I like the Bulls at 4.
You like the Bulls? You like the Bulls over Philly? I think we maybe.
You can put Philly at number 4. I like Philly at 4. Philly. James Harden is. I don't think he's gonna be very nice coming out of this summer. I think he's gonna be very good going into next season. So Philly. Let's say number 5, the Bulls. Number 6, and I want to say the Knicks. I want to say the Knicks at number 6. Number 7.
The Knicks. So you got the Knicks at 6. What's your Raptor? You got the Raptors, Cavs.
Oh, the Cavs. Damn, I keep forgetting.
It's your list, though. It's your list. I'm just throwing the teams out there.
Charlotte, but Charlotte don't got Miles Bridges no more. So I mean,
that's a whole nother thing. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So, the Raptors. The Raptors are good. They're top 5, top 10 team. The Raptors. What was the other team you said behind the Raptors?
Cavaliers was in the play-in. The Hawks got DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, the Hawks too. So let's do it like this. So let's say the Cavs at the Hawks at 7, the Cavs at 8, and then I guess the top 2 playing teams would be the Knicks. Or the last 2 playing teams would be the Knicks and shit.
What's your thoughts on the Wizards?
The Wizards, man.
The
They
Wizards
look good.
Pistons.
I like Bradley Beal.
What about the Pistons? You think they're a year away?
Yeah, they need one more year because we need everybody to start to mesh correctly. They still got a lot of young guys coming in and vets coming in. So, but I think the Pistons can give everybody a run for the money as far as as the playing from 7 to 12. I mean, no, not 7. Yeah, 7 to 12. Yeah,
7 to 10. Yeah,
7 to 10.
Yeah,
I think they could give those any of those teams a run for their money. They got Kay Cunningham. I'm a big fan of his. I feel like he's just gonna get better over time. And then you got Sadiq Bey. He's a great shooter. You got shooters. You got they lost this dude, right? The Pistons.
You talking about Detroit?
Yeah.
Well, they re-signed. They re-signed Bagley.
They traded this guy, Jeremy.
Oh right, yeah, Jeremy Grant. Yeah, exactly.
Jeremy Grant. Did it with the Nuggets?
Trailblazers.
The Trailblazers.
Yeah.
That's how I'm seeing the East that year. Next year, yeah, the East.
The East got all. It's like all the young teams, all the young up and coming teams are in the East. So I feel like it'll be like probably more competitive than it's ever been. There's gonna be a lot of high games.
So I'm great. I got Boston, Milwaukee, Miami, Philadelphia. I'm gonna say Atlanta, Toronto, and then for the play-in, I got us, of course. I got us.
Better for y'all,
Yeah, I got Knicks. I think again, I mean, last year, bro, should have made at least a play-in, man.
bro. Absolutely, bro. I swear to God, if y'all didn't have that month,
Yeah,
if y'all would have even won 7 more games, you know, y'all.
they had just went 500 in that 20-game stretch, not 3-17. Like they
Yes,
had just
bro.
went 10 and
500. Y'all
10.
would have been in a play-in, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. 37 games. I won 37 games. Y'all would have won 40, at least 40, 43, 44. Playing. Nobody want to play in the fucking Garden, like in the playoffs. What?
Yeah, exactly. I got the Knicks. I got the Knicks 7, Cavs 8, 9, 10. Charlotte. You get the Charlotte in there. Uh, we see what the Wizards are going to do. The Nets. I mean, the Nets is interesting. It's interesting. I got to see what they get back. I think that's going to change. Ben Simmons is still a really good player. Like I feel like
still think he's gonna get traded. I think they're gonna trade him to the Kings.
nah, I would build around him. It's perfect. He doesn't have a no trade clause. He has 4 years left. 4 years left on his 4 years. On that deal just kicked in this season. That just started July 1. So I would build around him. He's a young piece. He's 25 years old. Now he could be the guy. Everybody talked about him and Embiid couldn't work in Philadelphia. Now he doesn't have to worry about that. KD's not going to be there. Kyrie's not going to be there. He's a 3-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA defense. It's just the shooting is the problem. He can't shoot.
If they do trade KD to Miami, it kind of will be perfect for both sides. Because then now you get shooting in Brooklyn, more shooting in Brooklyn, young players to go with Ben, and Miami gets Kevin Durant along with
Jimmy Butler. Yeah. And Bam.
I think Bam, yeah, KD was like, hell no, y'all got to keep Bam if I'm gonna come there. Like, so yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. But shit, bro, I don't know. I think the Nets are gonna look to trade that nigga anywhere whatever is better for them. I even heard Toronto.
And that's going to ask for Barnes. I mean, Toronto's going to, the Nets going to ask for Scotty Barnes in that deal. They're not asking for Siakam. I want the younger player. They said they want 2 players and multi. They said they want. This is where I knew that. I mean, I get aim high. That's what you do. Like when you negotiate, you say the highest offer and then see what happens, and then probably somewhere down the road, both teams probably meet somewhere in the middle, or it could be a 3-team deal. Who knows? But 2 All-Stars and multiple first-round picks, not happening. They're not getting that. They're not getting that. Yeah, for KD, no. They're not getting that.
No, not too old.
Because the thing is, yeah, he's 30. He's about to turn 34, and the team that's trying to get KD is not going to gut their entire team like that. Even as great as he is, they're not going to gut their entire team just for KD, because then it becomes, what about the depth around whoever he's trying to team up with, whether it's him and Jimmy and Bam. What about those role players? Now, yeah, sure, well, guys want to come play with them. They could sign a bunch of guys on mid-level exceptions. That would probably be something that they would do. But for the Nets to ask for 2 All-Stars and then multiple first-round picks, that's crazy. I don't see that happening. I just don't.
Remember, well,
That's why I'm thinking it's gonna be like a 3-team trade most likely. Whenever they trade KD, they're gonna trade Kyrie. So, like, I think Kyrie is gonna find his way to the Lakers. No, like, regardless. That's a given. It might not be now. It might be during the season, or it might be after the season. Nobody knows. So, but
could you see a possibility where? I mean, I don't know. This would be crazy. What if the Nets don't want Westbrook and Kyrie, and it's Kyrie, Westbrook, LeBron, and AD? Wouldn't that be crazy? That would be crazy.
they're gonna have.
Kyrie's like, yo, Kyrie's like, yo, I got a lot of money. I'm gonna buy out my contract. Sign on the mid-level. To team up with LeBron. You know how much love that is to LeBron, bro? Oh my gosh.
Like, cause then, like, who, like, all right, Kevin Durant go to Phoenix. Who you gonna trade? You gonna trade D? Why are you gonna trade D Book? You want to go to Phoenix to play with D Book?
Right. They're asking for Booker. It's not happening.
Kevin Durant out here fucking franchises up, bro. Like, I don't think he realizes that. Like,
that's why people are upset with him right now. I mean, he's getting a lot of criticism. Now, he put out the tweet earlier today, like, "Oh, if you've been in the gym with me, you know how I lock in." I mean, it's like a passive aggressive.
We know you get buckets.
Yeah, we know you get like that.
But
we don't see
really
you for 15 years. Like,
he's really living up to his name of being a snake. Like, he's really living up to his name, bro. Like, Kyrie is Kyrie. Cool, whatever. Y'all don't want to deal with Kyrie. The Nets don't want to deal with Kyrie. But send that nigga to the Lakers, bro. That nigga gonna ball out next year. I promise you. LeBron, he need LeBron. It's okay, Kyrie. We get it, bro. I just feel like if he would have never said that shit. This nigga had this shit in his head, bro, since that interview. When he told everybody, yo, bro, no, like, yeah, if I would have never did that, I probably would have been in LA right now. Like, I'm pretty sure niggas is like, oh, like, wow. Kyrie said that. Like, players don't say shit like that. You feel me? Like, they don't, especially with LeBron, bro. It's like real edgy when you talk about LeBron. It got to be extremely direct, and you know what I'm saying. It got to be a certain person, like, otherwise it'd be like, I don't know if I believe that shit. Like Kyrie to say that, it's like, thank you, bro. Thank you for realizing you was acting like a bitch. Believe him. That was what? That was what? 5 years ago?
5 years ago, yeah.
5 years later, now what? Kyrie, just come back home, bro. We need you, man. Gotta trade Westbrook to. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna be like a 3-team trade. They trade KD. They trade KD and Kyrie. They get picks and players that can return. And I feel like, yeah, in order for the Nets to get Bam, they would have to trade Ben to the what? They would have to trade Ben to, like I said, the Kings or some shit. And the Kings would probably send back players and picks to the Nets. But I don't know, man. We'll see, man.
Yeah, we're gonna see, because I mean, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild. Because if I'm the Nets, realistically, man, if I feel like I'm not, I would try to make it work and be like, yo, let's link the team up with Ben. It's you and Ben for 4 years. They're both on a 4-year deal. But then I'm hearing reports that him and Kyrie want to play together.
Yeah, that's another thing too.
I don't know what's true, what's not true, in regards to that. But my thing is, like, if they wanted to run together, they would just stay in Brooklyn. So it's weird. It's weird. So now you want to still team up and then go somewhere else.
That's what I'm saying. The only team that makes sense. The only team, those two teams he mentioned, besides, I guess, Miami. Miami don't got a point guard, right? No, they got Kyle Lowry.
But
they train for Kyle Lowry,
right?
Like, So that's what I said. Like the only team that really makes sense if y'all dead ass really want to play together, it's gonna have to be the Lakers, or either the Lakers or the Trailblazers. One of those two.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, it's gonna be.
I go to the Lakers. That's like three chips right there. What? Who's stopping
Three.
that? Who's stopping that? Kyrie, KD, and LeBron. That's not fair.
Man, I don't see that happening.
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
see that happening. They'll
But
find.
even if you do Dame, KD, and Kyrie, that's still crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Of course. I mean, I would give up Simons, Shaden Sharp, the guy they just drafted, and picks, and maybe some more picks. Well, Dame is an Adidas guy, but KD and Kyrie, Nike guys, Portland, Oregon. That's where Nike is founded. So
That's what I'm saying.
it's a possibility. I just don't know what the situation is with them. Like, do they want to still team up, or if they want to go their separate ways? Because if it's the latter, then I feel like it'll probably be better for a specific team. But if they're both trying to leave and team up together and go to a team, then I don't see the likelihood of that. I mean, I think a team would probably take Westbrook because Westbrook has 1 year left on his deal. So it's not like they're obligated for him post next year. So they would be able to free up space. So I could see a team trading for Westbrook just for that 1 year, and then he could be a free agent the following year and go wherever he wants to go. So that would make sense, But him in Brooklyn with him and Ben Simmons, I mean, people will show up. I mean, people will show up. Westbrook and Ben. I mean, they can't shoot. You got to put three shooters around them in that starting lineup. But I mean, I feel like people will go to the games if you're a Nets fan. I mean, it's still you would hope Westbrook could be inspired after how he played last season, and same thing for Ben, who didn't play at all last season. So you got two, you would hope, motivated guys on the squad. So I don't know. I don't know what happens. We'll see what happens with that. But for the Knicks, like I said, I still have my concerns about how it's going to look on the court, just because I just don't know how Randall's going to play. What's his mindset going to be? But if he plays like how he played, if he's a combination of what he was 2 years ago and then similar to what he did in his last year in LA and what he did in that year with the Pelicans before he pulled up to New York, with Brunson, you would expect RJ to take that next step. Then I think they should definitely be in that playing squad for sure. For sure, no doubt. They should be able to close some of those games that they weren't able to last year, and get to an opportunity to be in the playoffs. If Randall plays how he played 2 years ago and Brunson is really good as well with RJ, I can see a top six. I could. Again, I'm not a fan of him and Fournier as a backcourt just because Fournier is not a good defender. Personally, I would like to see at all. I would like to see Cam in that role at the shooting guard position, where then it's Brunson, Cam, RJ, Randall, and Mitch. I would like to see that. You have versatility. You got six. Your shooting guard is 6'8", your small forward is 6'7", and then your from your 2 to 5 is 6'7" and up. So that's what wins in the NBA today. Case in point. You look at the Warriors, look at the Celtics, those two teams that were in the finals. Brown 6'8", 6'6", Smart is 6'4", Tatum 6'8". You need that type. They just got Malcolm Brogdon. I think he's 6'4". He's versatile. He could guard 1 through 3. So you need versatile players out there. You can't have liabilities in your starting lineup. Maybe one or two, but two guys, and then let alone that be in your backcourt where we know it's a heavy guard league and everybody has a good guard. I don't see how that works. I don't see how that works, man. So I'm optimistic. Brunson's a Knick. I see that we have the tweet right here, ready to start a new chapter in New York. Let's go. So he grew up a Knicks fan. He got his avatar picture is him in a Knicks jersey when he was younger. His dad played for the Knicks. His dad was on that '99 Knicks team when they went to the finals. So Tom Thibodeau was on that coaching staff when they went to the finals in 1999. So the relationships are there. So I think it's a good move, man. I'm excited. I have some optimism, but then I still have my concerns based on what I saw last year. So um, we'll see what happens. Knicks Nation. That's going to wrap it up for this live stream. For the people that stopped by, definitely look out for me dropping some more videos in regards to the New York Knicks on this channel, Knicks Boulevard. Definitely plan on doing some more live streams. Also, post game, pre game live streams when the season starts. Might do something for summer league as well. So for everybody watching, tuning in, I appreciate you stopping by. Quan, you wanna drop your plugs and what you got going on?
Yes, sir. You already know, man. It's your boy Young Quando, man. You can follow me on Instagram. Hey, YUNG_Quando. There's a Laker Nation in the building, Giants Nation in the building. Shout out to the Knicks too. Just stay safe, man, in this New York City summer. We got the football season coming up. Actually, you got to mention that too, bro. You got to mention that. We don't got no sports right now, but tell these people we gotta cover football season soon too, man.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you stopping by for the last stream for the Guard Up NBA channel as well. If you guys want to, hear more about just strictly NBA, more across the league, what's going on, and my thoughts and some videos there, you can go to my Guard Up NBA YouTube channel. This is more Knicks specific.
That's a fact.
On Instagram.
Bing bong.
On Instagram, follow Knicks Boulevard on Instagram, Knicks BLVD on IG. And then you can find me on Twitter also at CJames9_, talking about sports, everything that's going on with the Knicks, Yankees as well, some other, and also sports teams. So again, thank you guys, everybody that tuned in, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Thank you guys, man. Catch you guys on the next one. You guys have a good one.
Sure.